Hey, this is Anna. Welcome back. We're going to play some Voyagers of Nera today. Second video of the game. My sister and I played a few days ago and we unlocked Greatwood from the map. Go ahead and show where that's at on the map. So right now we're in the Embrace. And that's the Reef, which we haven't fully uncovered. And that's Greatwood. The reason why we haven't fully uncovered this is we're playing a multiplayer game, my sister and I, and she's all hung up on ESO because of the new marketplace that's added. So it's really hard trying to drag her away from that game to play with me. That's fine. At least I have places to uncover, and I've already played this game to completion. So we've started a new game as a multiplayer. And I really don't want to go too far in uncovering things without her being able to have that experience. So we're skipping a little bit from the reef there, and we've uncovered the Greatwood, and we did that on purpose so that we can extract some of the mats from the Greatwood for building our base. And also, I didn't want to uncover the Greatwood without her, so I kind of twisted her arm a little bit to travel over here and uncover this so that I could play by myself while she's playing her other games. And now I can actually access the Greatwood without guilt, if that makes any sense. So this is where we're going to travel to. And we do have a portal here. Traveling through the deep, you have to travel through the deep in order to reach each biome. So this is very treacherous. This is a corrupted area. So there's a lot of monsters that hit your boat, knock you off your boat, can sink your boat. Traveling by boat is fun, and you get to do that a lot in each biome. But there's something about traveling through the deep that really kind of awakens my anxiety and makes me nervous. It's kind of like the creepiest spot of traveling per se from biome to biome. So by placing a portal here where you see my boat, it allows me to jump between zones and then back to my main base area, which is where I'm at now. But before we do that, let me just show you some things that happened since my last video. I've unlocked a few new features. Here, let me go ahead and show that. We'll tab over to the knowledge tree. So these are levels, and you start out at your first level with knowledge points, and you can unlock the first row. But as you level up, gaining experience, it unlocks all these rows. So I've already unlocked all these. Some of these things I haven't unlocked because they require you to find a spirit in a particular zone. So I'm waiting on my sister to play with me so she can discover these spirits and unlock these things. I personally don't need them, although they are helpful. Having a better torch to be able to explore, having a necklace or a ring to better your skills and help you navigate the game with ease as far as fighting or exploring. And so there's various different things that unlocking spirits will give you. This is cannons for your boat, and this is a treasure chest for your base, magic chest with larger storage, and more buffs for your build. This right here, it is something that hasn't been developed yet by the devs, but once they do, that will unlock. So there's just various different things that unlocking the spirits will help you uncover. But I've reached the max level, and that unlocked better axe, pickaxe, necklace, more furnishings, plushies, same with this level here as well. So in doing so, by unlocking these zones and maxing out my leveling, I've also unlocked better gear, more furnishings for my base. So we'll go ahead and kind of explore a few of those things. As far as the gear goes, I unlocked the Elder Mark gear set. And then as far as these blue corners that you see, that's where I enchanted my gear to make it better. And I also unlocked the Spirit Focus, which gives you, you know, better potency and more magic as far as mana is concerned. And then I keep the Pathfinder pendant because it allows me more carry weight, fall damage, tool durability. But you can change all these as you craft new things and uncover new things from leveling up. You can actually swap all this out. This is my skimboard, skimmer, and my glider. So, and then as far as abilities go, we can, well, we have to go to the Spirit Anchor to actually see and change those things. But I did change up my healing ability to wind ability so I can fly around better and get to higher elevations to uncover things. And this is my lightning shot ability for my character. So, you know, I've done a little bit more since we have explored from the last video. We're just going to go ahead and I replaced some plants, added some plants to the empty vases, replaced some scenery. I've added some wall decor, some tapestries. I also unlocked pigment so I can make the colored rugs and things, which I haven't done yet. I added that tapestry, added another chest here because I'm finding more materials. You know, it's a smithing station. So I did unlock better spear, arrow, gear, shield, pickaxe, and axe. So I was able to create those, and those are currently in my hotbar right now. Also, let's go over here. And I took out some things that I had growing over here and planted some new things I found in the Greatwood, like alderleaf and titan root. And this is the elderwood tree, which when I chopped it down in Greatwood, it created a seed. So I grew a new tree. And you can actually chop this stuff down and utilize this stuff and regrow it. So let's actually do that. So I'm going to chop down this tree, which is giving me elderwood log if you look to the left of my screen. And there it goes. So I got 75 elderwood. And so now what we're going to do is come over here. And I do have an elderwood seed. So I'm going to take one. I'm going to put that in my toolbar. And then the watering can. Actually, I think that one's empty. You know what? I'm going to take both of these to show you how to fill up your watering can too. And we'll see if that's the one that's full or not. Then you come over here, tab over. I'm using the right upper bumper on my controller, but you can also use your keyboard, number 7 or 8, depending on where you slotted it. And so I'm highlighting the seed. And now I'm planting it. And then I'll tab over to my watering can so I can water it. And it says watering can empty. So let's replace it with this other watering can. Sorry about that. I think I dropped it on the ground. Let's see. Yep. All right, okay, we put it in the hotbar now. So this is the emptying can. So there we go. Perfect. All right, so let's actually go over and fill up these cans. Now I did unlock the water well spirit, but I can't access it until I increase my spirit anchor, which requires me to unlock by defeating the Abysmal Spires and the Reef, and I can't do that until my sister drags her butt away from ESO and comes in here and plays with me and helps me defeat those spires and unlock that additional spirit to expand the spirit anchor. Somebody needs to get a hold of her and tell her to get her head out of her butt and come over here and play this game with me so that we can expand the game and move on from it. But I get it. It's our favorite game. It was my favorite game at 1.2. You know, 12 years playing a specific game, you develop a connection. It becomes family. But this game does that for me as well. So while she's playing ESO, I'm playing this game. And, you know, so be it. So let's fill up. This is a freshwater well. And by having both these watering cans in my hotbar, I can fill it up from the water reservoir. And now both my watering cans are full. I'll put them back in storage for when I have to water my plants again. And as soon as we're able to expand the spirit anchor, I won't have to go over to the water well anymore because I'll have that fresh water option over here that I just showed unlocked, and I can fill my watering cans from here. So, and we're just going to go ahead and put these watering cans back so that way when we do need them to water our plants, they'll be here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my food back in my hotbar. I am carrying some weight at the moment, so I'm going to offload the wood. But before we do that, let's check and see. We did make some amberite ingots, and they're finished, so let's go ahead and store those. Hit store like items, and it leaves your inventory and automatically populates in storage. Let's see if we've got anything over here in the... We don't have a lot we can make. We could make some clay shingles because we have a lot of clay. But we have a lot of clay shingles, so there's really no need to do that. Let's stop over here and see if I have any food that I can max out in my hotbar. There we go. And we do have other meals. If you look, for example, these little fishy sticks. Max health 75, stamina is 10, oxygen is 5. This meal, max health is 75, stamina 10, oxygen 5. We go down to this meal, max health is 100, max stamina is 20, max oxygen is bumped up to 10. So all these different meals give you different buffs to either your stamina, your health, and your mana. And then you also have longer duration on your food as well. You don't have to eat as much food when you use the better meals. This one's max health, max stamina, max oxygen, 140 and 15, 130 and 20. So it really depends on what you need. If you're going to be underwater a lot, whether it be defeating enemies or farming, you want more oxygen. If you're going to be defeating a lot of enemies, like defeating an Abysmal Spire, you're going to want max stamina and, maxed out health. And this is where you would make those meals. So you can see these are all unlocked. And by highlighting each one before you make them, you can actually see what their stats are. So you can make things that are better suited for what you're going to do in the game. Before we defeat an Abysmal Spire today, we'll come over here and make some of these meals because we're going to need them. You're also, when you do an Abysmal Spire, you're going to want to have corruption resistant tonics as well as cleansing tonics. So what this does is it reduces the amount of corruption you get when you're in a corrupted zone. And for any corruption that you do get, once you leave that zone, you can clear it by using the corruption tonics. So we'll come back here and make some meals before we do an Abysmal Spire. I did unlock some additional plants and also some additional lighting. So I made this little lantern over here. And also by discovering Greatwood and picking up the Greatwood material, I was able to complete my ghost looking trees that I had here before in my previous video. This was kind of ghosty looking because I was missing the materials to make them. But now that I've made them, you can also see little fireflies buzzing around. I unlocked a pergola, so not knowing where I was going to put that, I just stuck it over the well. And I also want to note in my previous video that I incorrectly stated what these buffs do for you. And let me just go ahead and show you what the Spirit Inker buffs do. Let's go ahead and open up our build mode. And this is the spirit section of the build mode. So when you add different spirit amenities, you get different buffs that you can activate for a short period of time with your character. So by interacting with this one here, it gives you protective energy and it cleanses your corruption. So you can come back to your base and clear out all your corruption by visiting this guy on your base. This is unlocked when you defeat the spirit in a particular zone. This one's for water, then there's one for wind and in the Reef, and then you have one for earth in the Greatwood. This amenity gives you rest. It expands your resting time and gives you more restful energy on your character. This one here blesses your base with abundance, causing food buffs to no longer decay. So in other words, when you're in your sanctuary and you have a meal, you eat it, it no longer decays while you're on your base. So your food stays at its current level on your character until you leave the base, and then it starts decaying. And then this one here, you can receive a potent health regeneration buff for a short time. So I'm standing in front of it right now. In my last video, I said this was mana and the totem pole was stamina. I was wrong. This one is health. And this one here is mana, the totem pole. So I had it backwards. Well, not really backwards, but I incorrectly stated. I stated that the totem pole was for stamina and the hot tub was for mana. The hot tub is for health. The totem pole is for mana. And then your spirit trees, which I just showed that have the fireflies. It harnesses the power of the wind and the earth to increase the growth rate of any plants that you have nearby. Plants meaning the ones that you're growing in your farming area. So these amenities actually help out your base really nicely, giving you extra buffs both on your base and off your base. I added some decorative flowers. I added this little turtle totem, which doesn't do anything for you. It's just decoration. But it became available when I unlocked a couple of levels that I achieved in leveling up. So here's our spirit anchor. And we're missing a boat because we took that to the reef. And then eventually we took the boat to Greatwood. So we now have a boat in each biome, which is nice because we can use this portal to travel between the biomes, but we can use the boats to sail around within that biome. So having one in each biome is nice. So let's go ahead and fast travel over to Greatwood. So by doing that, we're going to move the map. Each of these circles with an arrow is my magic portal, so I can travel between biomes. And we're here. All right, and so there's that third boat that we talked about. We're waiting for everything to populate here. There we go. This is a elderwood driftwood. So by coming over here to our axe on our toolbar, we can actually chop down this driftwood, and now we have elderwood again. And there's our boat that was missing from our base. Over here, we have sea glass. So we can harvest that. And always remember to tab back on your toolbar to your weapon. You never know if enemies are going to pop out. We did create a base portal and put a spirit anchor here. I'll show you where the spirit anchor is. Just up here. And if I hit my build menu, you can see the protected circle. So our boat is outside the protective circle. The only way to expand that is to add spirit amenities. However, we're not sure if this is going to be our primary base location for this biome. I didn't want to choose it and decorate it in case my sister wants to be a part of that. It's dark right now, so we can't see that much. We need to actually, probably be a good idea to sleep and expand daytime into, or nighttime into daytime. Let me see if, let me go ahead and see if I can sleep right now. I can, good. Let me get out of the build mode too. There we go. So, oh, my sleep time didn't expand on my Z's down there. But we're now in daytime, so you can see the area a little better now. And the days cycling, night to day to night, and so on, over several cycles will allow certain maps to repopulate. So over there is where we went and got the sea glass, and it's not back yet. And here is where we chopped that driftwood for the elderwood, and it's not back yet. But the more you cycle the day to night, night to day, and go through those periods, eventually certain materials will repopulate. I'm also going to get rid of my inventory because it's going to start weighing me down. So I'll put my Greatwood over there, my wood, my nails, and my sea glass. So now my weight has dropped down significantly. And I can move a lot better too. So let me hit the build menu again so you can see our circle of protection. Our circle of protection again doesn't include the boat, so it can receive damage. But until my sister gets in here and plays with me a little bit, I'm not going to go ahead and expand the circle of protection by adding amenities until we know where we're going to put them. She may or may not like this zone. This is also a respawn point too. If you look up there, and let me hit the map, and let me zoom in on the map. On the map is a respawn shrine. So if something does happen, uh-oh. Oh, that was lightning. I thought that was getting hit by an enemy. But anyway, up there is the respawn shrine. If something does happen to our boat and our base, and, you know, outside of our protected circle here, and we do die, we can always come back to this location. If we had a bed here, which we don't, the bed is on the ship. If something happens to that ship and we lose our boat, we don't have a bed here, so our respawn would probably end up being here, and then we can fly down to our protected circle. But as you can see, the circle does expand a wide amount of land. This is a freshwater point, so if we decide to plant anything, we can easily access fresh water. And let's go over here to this cave. We're still in build mode, so I can show you what is encompassing our protected zone here. There's our spirit anchor right there to the left. This was a cave that had a little spirit in it. And here we have to get out of build mode so I can access my toolbar. There we go. And we're back in build mode. And so I need to get rid of these barbed spires. My sister is probably not going to want to build here because if this vegetation respawns and we have to hit this every time we want to come in here, although that might be a unique feature, an activity to do to access your space. But I thought she would enjoy this little cave area that has some pretty decorative scenery in it. I don't know. We'll have to wait for her to join us in the game. But let me go ahead and hit B again for the build mode. And outside this circle, our protection ends. Now there were enemies in here with a little spirit. I killed the enemies, rescued the spirit to open up this cave. And now that our base of protection from the spirit anchor encompasses this area, the enemies will not respawn and the spirit is gone. But I thought this would be a cool little area with a lagoon, some ruin looking like structure. Little area over here kind of reminds me of mangrove trees in the South. If you're in the US and you live in the South or ever visited the South, trees grow out of the water, mangrove trees. So the more we expand the spirit anchor, the more we expand our circle of protection. But I'm going to wait for her to play and decide if she likes this area or not. Next video may be in the same place, or it may be moved. Who knows? Let's get out of build mode. I came over here also because I want to harvest some materials. So let's get our weapon in place, because we know we're going to encounter some enemy. This is Tide Metal, which is used for making better gear and some base related furnishings and things. Up, and now we're slowing down a little bit because we are heavy. And that is the drawback of being overweight. As you can see, I'm 1265 out of 550. It's because of all this Tide Metal that's in my inventory. So we can't go anywhere until we get rid of this weight. Now, once you're inside your protected circle, and if you have spirit amenities to enhance your circle, you can actually decrease the weight as far as movement goes. But again, I don't have those amenities planted because we're not sure if this is going to be our main travel base yet, or our main base to travel to. Over there yonder, where you see all the rocks and the curly looking things, that is the deep. Very treacherous zone to be in, corrupted. And that's the area I don't like traveling through by boat. It's kind of hard to say that it scares me because it's a game, but it's kind of like anything else, like a video, that you're watching on your television, or you visit a scary space and it kind of elevates your heart rate a little bit and makes you feel, anxious. That's what the deep does to me. And since you can easily lose your boat from enemy damage while sailing through it, a lot of times on your boat you have materials that you've acquired and stored on your boat. And if your boat sinks, you lose those too. You can rescue the boat if you have one of those features on you. It's a little stone to help rescue your boat. But it's just the whole process of sailing, getting attacked, and then being stranded in the water without your boat. And it's just that whole experience is kind of scary to me. So let's go ahead and get our tide metal in here. And now you can see I've greatly reduced my weight carrying amount by getting rid of this tide metal. And I'm going to go ahead and put these guys over here too. May as well. All right. We're good. All right. Let's go over here. There's more tide metal over here, but I want to kill some of these enemies over here. Get some of their drops. And also explore some of this land. It's very pretty. I love the scenery in this game. I really love what the devs have done. It's a great game to hang out in. The music's good. The scenery is good. A friend of mine said it perfectly. This game scratches that itch because of the many facets of the game. It's not just all combat. It's not just all base building. It's not just all scenery and zen-like atmosphere. It's got everything in it, which really is kind of nice for a game. There we go. All right, let's see what we got going on over here. Uh-oh, spiders. There is an arachnophobia mode in this game, which I thought I had turned on, but I don't. I guess I didn't effectively do that. But you can, if you have an issue with spiders, you can turn that on and it creates like a little white dot with eyeballs. I don't know that it really defeats the purpose of curing your arachnophobia, but because you always know that's a spider, even though you've changed it to a non-spider looking icon. So these are important in the game. Gives you knowledge points. It also unlocks a lot of the story. We've already unlocked it, so we didn't get anything from that visit. And let's go back up here and move around a little bit. Let's see what's in this cave here. The rock. We discovered a new zone. And some mushrooms. Now this is the Abysmal Spire that needs defeated. We do not want to go into that in this zone right now. Each biome has Abysmal Spires to defeat, but there's more of them, and there's more intensity in them. So I am personally prepared for it, but it's not something I want to do without my sister, so that she can have that experience. We are going to do an Abysmal Spire in this video, but we're going to do it in a different zone. But we're just running around killing enemies. And as I explained in my earlier video, the combat may seem really easy in my video here. That's only because I toned down the intensity of the combat for this game. so that my sister doesn't get stressed out. She has an issue with dying and gets a little anxious, and then sometimes doesn't want to play the game if the combat is too intense. I like a challenge, so I like to have that combat, but in order for her to enjoy the game, I want to make sure that she's not stressed out, getting nervous, and just like says, screw it, I don't want to play anymore. I do have a personal game that I play, and the combat is in normal range. There's some fish we can kill to gather some materials to make fish meals if we want. And then we have some enemy fish here. So we want to make sure that we gather what they drop. There's also a new fish in the Greatwood that gives you materials so that you can make gear. You can harvest clay. And just remember when you're swimming, watch your oxygen bar so that you don't die underwater. And let's kill this guy. Yeah, not very challenging, but that's okay. If you like a combat challenge, you can always upgrade your combat level. Here's a sharky, and I'm out of oxygen, but we got him. Let's go up and get a breath, and then we can dive back down and collect what that shark left behind. There we go. I love the underwater in this game. I love the ability to swim and explore, collect mats, like you can collect clams and seaweed, glowstones, and a recent video that the devs put out that they're going to expand the underwater world, which is going to be super sweet to see what they do there. So let's just go ahead and go up. I don't want to grab that tide metal because it's going to bog down my movement. I'll wait for my sister to show up and she can help me carry it back. We'll grab some of the sea glass. Sea glass is used to make glass, which is used to make glass bottles, and then you can make potions and things at your alchemy bench. Ooh, we collected a lot of stuff. So let's hit store-like items, populate the sea glass. Let's put our deepling bones in here, and our shell. We have some mana. I'm going to save the magic stuff for my other chest. These are actually like crafting materials. We got some bone meal, it looks like. Nice. Some food. Some shimmer cells, silk from the spiders, poison gland, hunter top. And we have a hunter mass fragment. We have 2 of those. Once we get, I think it's 3, we can go ahead and make the mask in our crafting window. I'm going to take this food out. Put that there. All right, and let's go to this other chest. Oh, it's full, but we do have some mana in there, so let's hit some store-like items. And it looks like we're full. That's no problem. I do have this chest over here, which has materials. I brought wood over for building in case we decided to build here. And I am going to put these hunter mass fragments in here. for now. Let's climb up this area here. These flowers that you see that look like poinsettias on the ground, they emit a poison cloud that poisons you, and kind of try and want to avoid those as much as possible so you're not affected by the poison. Some ancient fragment. There's our pretty waterfall. Oh, there's an urn right there. And these are potion bottles. You can actually make those at the alchemy bench too. But I do love the scenery in this game. This Greatwood has that kind of creepy, mystical, I don't know. It's hard to explain the kind of feeling I get from here. But you can travel around on your surfboard, uncover things. Here's a wind draft. So by having your glider equipped, and then you hit jump. Let's see if I can do this again. Here we go. You can glide on over. Here's another elderwood tree. So I'm gonna hit that. Nice. Yeah, you can fly, you can jump, you can sail, you can skimboard. There's just so many things that you can do in this game. You can fly to higher elevations. Let's see what it takes us. Yeah, I didn't really catch that right. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did. Nice. The higher you go, the more you get to see. You can adjust this in the game settings as far as how far away. That's the reef over there, beyond the deep. Where my white dot is. There's a little spiky, glowy thing with 3 yellow dots. If we were over in the reef right now, you would see that's an Abysmal Spire in the reef. There's another one way over there too. But this whole ghosty, it reminds me of like sailing through a haunted shipyard. You know, it's foggy, it's mystical, it's got creepy music, and I don't like it. I mean, I like it for the game, but I don't like sailing through it. All right, let's jump and fly. Try and get close to our portal where we have some things saved. There we go. All right, let's see if we can store like items. No. So let's pull that out. There we go. And pulling out like items because of this. I'm going to pull this out and add our sea glass. And let's go to our mortgage. Oh, wait. Yeah, we have seeds. Let's put those in there. And store like items. I don't know that we need this much fiber here. Or actually, we might. I don't know if we need this much resin. Take that out. There we go. There we go. And then what about over here? Oh, we do have men in here already. Let's take that out. Put our potions in here. They're different. That little star is improved mana potion. Or that's just basic. I also want to, let's put this over here too. Off your magic chest, or like item. And I'm just gonna drop from my inventory and so there's little sacks sitting on the ground there. That's okay. And so this is the area I chose for my sister to look at for a possible base location. And it looks like we need to eat. Oh, and it looks like we need to sleep too. So I'm going to tab over to my weapon just in case, since the boat isn't protected. And I'm going to go over here to the boat where there is a bed. And I'm going to wait to eat my food until after I'm done sleeping. All right, let's sleep. And it didn't populate my Z's. I wonder why. And I can't sleep again. Well, let's just go ahead and eat some food. And we'll explore a little bit. By exploring, you will uncover different materials, different enemies drop different things. And then also, you'll uncover spirits, which give you amenities. Those are mines, the little spiky things. Always want to be careful of those. Let's skimboard around a little bit and see what we can uncover. All right, there's those mines I was talking about. You can kill those and get materials from them, but you cannot do that from the skimboard. Okay, so we haven't covered this part of the island. Let's see what this little bridge area does for us. Let's go ahead and explore a little bit. So if you look up above, there is a bridge of sorts across. And since part of this island is corrupted with the Abysmal Spire, we're probably not going to be able to find a climbing spot to get up there until we defeat the Abysmal Spire. So what I'm going to do is explore around a little bit and see if I can find a spot to climb up on, but if I can't, then I'm going to build a staircase to it. One of the nice features about this game is you can build anywhere. Obviously, your protected base. Oh, look, maybe we can climb up there. Your protected base is where you're going to do most of your building, of course. But what's really neat is you can build anywhere. It may not be protected, but you can build. Oh, it's a log tunnel. Well, let's see if we can get up here and grab this chest first and read this little hand. This is also part of the main story as well. And you do get an achievement if you're an achievement hunter for unlocking all of those. Take these materials, those are good ones. There is a wind draft to be able to go up there. We could try it, see what's up there. Means we have to get up on top of it. Climb up. There we go. Alright, let's see where this takes us. Same tree that we were at before, just at a higher elevation. And I did climb this tree the other day and got stuck in it, so. But, check this out. We could probably fly and land on that log. Because there's those pink flowers on that log, and that's what gives you pigment. So let's go check it out. See if we can fly to that log. Nice. Awesome. And there's some enemy and materials down there too, but I'm liking this right now because the more of these starfall blossoms that you get, you can make pigment. There's some glowflies down there, but I want to go through this tunnel. So let's fly down off of this log. And kill these enemies. You gotta... Uh-oh, they're coming for me. There we go. And I'm getting shot at by a spider. More starfall blossoms, so that means more pigment. Pigment is a material that's needed to dye specific furnishings on your base, or to have certain already colored items in the menu to be able to craft them. And then it's also used for other things as well. Let's check this out. Is there anything in here worth looking for? An urn. Nice, with some potion bottles. If you explore and retrieve enough in this game, you don't really have to craft those necessities. I already have so many potion bottles from running around that I haven't needed to craft them. There is a setting in the game where you can actually increase the abundance of materials that you acquire in the game. It's one of the game's setup settings. So you can actually set it to where you get one of something, or 5 of something, or 10 of something. And that may come in handy at times when it comes to wanting to build. You want to build a big bougie base, you care less about the fighting, you just want to build and decorate. So you can adjust those settings to give you more materials. I don't think I can take these orange flowers now. Alright, so here's our glowflies. And what's at the end of this rock? Anything? No, but you can fly over there. You can also climb it, because I've done that. There's some mana. My inventory is full, but I don't want to leave here just yet. So let's get rid of some of this, because we have too many. So when I try to get out of this, it brings me to the pause screen, which I really don't need to do, but I guess in some ways it's kind of nice to have that show up, but not so much if you're trying to move around and you're in a treacherous area with enemies. So let's go ahead and take more. Loving the arrows that they're giving me, so I don't have to spend materials making arrows. Kill these boars. They give you meat. which is used for crafting meals and recipes. Some more starfall blossom. I don't know why I can't speak today. Some more glowflies. And poison plant. And we can climb. Nice. Where? Oh, lucky spider. And I'm wondering, never done this before, but let's see. Can we put stuff in the urn? Sure can. Oh, that's awesome. I've never experienced that before. But I'm glad to uncover that, and you're learning it too, I guess. Nice. Another thing I should show you too, in my inventory I have some wood. Always good to carry around some of this, because if you ever need to get to a higher elevation, maybe you don't have your glider unlocked yet, or maybe there's really no way to get to somewhere, having the wood on you allows you to build a staircase or a ladder or whatever you might need to get to higher elevations. We're going to take this wind draft, jump up in it, face the direction I want to go in. Oh, nice. Same tree. There's something up there or we wouldn't have these wind drafts. Oh, crap. I missed the chest. Gosh darn it. Oh, well. We're full anyway. Let's head over here. Another enemy area. Let's go fight him. Just because. So that's okay. So that's elderwood up there, and then there's that chest. Let me see if I can. I wish this cursor dot. It's so tiny. But right there, where you see my white cursor dot, I'm moving up and down on it. That's the chest I just missed from flying. There's another elderwood tree. Our base area is over there. So a little far away from home over here. I already have a lot of yam roots, so I'm not going to harvest those. Spores underwater. That's cool. Alright. If you follow your stone on your compass, it will take you back to your base area. This is Titan root. It's used for alchemy. Or anything up here? Oh, look, another handprint. I think we uncovered this already, though. Nice. All right. And we're back on our protected base area. We'll go ahead and offload some of our inventory. Which is full. So that means we're going to have to either defy my sister and build a base here, or take this back to main storage. So I'm going to take as much as I can out of here. But I am going to leave this wood, but I want to leave that in this chest. Looks like we already have plenty. Alright, so we're gonna go through our portal and fast travel back to base to unload our materials. So our main base is here in the Embrace. It's where we started in the game. It's where you have quests and assignments to build and increase your spirit world here. And in doing so, I'll hit the build mode. It's hard to see because it's not dark, but look at those rocks. You'll see the blue circle of protection. It's really huge once you add all these spirit amenities. It goes over there onto the land. It goes over here. I've been trying to encourage my sister to build off this dock and build something here. So you might be thinking, it sounds like your sister just doesn't want to play the game. That's not really true. She absolutely loves playing the game, but she's just all hung up into ESO. She says that, well, I pay for the game, so I should be playing it. And I can agree with that, but I also feel that you should play other games too. And play all of the games. You know, play a little this, go back. Play a little that, go back. So that's just my take on it. This is from the woodworking. And I think we have some... No, we don't. So let's make some elder wood because we can craft from that. I don't want to do max because some recipes actually call for the raw elder wood itself. So I'm going to use half. I know where I can get it. So there we go. And we'll walk away from that. This is the enchanting area where you can enchant all your weapons and your gear. It has to be in your inventory, so you have to take your gear off in order to be able to do that. Our little frog, where we feed him things we don't want because we either have too much of or don't need. Our smithing station to make gear and weapons and arrows. Our mana forge, where we can make magical items and things to enhance our character. And let's go ahead and store some like items if we have any. See, I already have so much of this that it was okay to dump that and leave that behind. And here's our wood. Fiber, which we don't have because we left that behind on the beach. Store some resin. These are our magical chests where we store crystals and mana and such, which I don't think... I'm still in build mode for some reason. There we go. I don't think I have... Oh, but I do have crystals on me. Let's store the glowflies. And let's store our crystals. Oh, there you go. I just took them off. I hit the wrong thing. Don't have a problem with showing my mistakes because you'll encounter them as well if you're playing the game. So it's good to see that somebody's human and make a mistake. So here, these are all potions that I've actually acquired in the game. I haven't really had a need to to make them because I'm getting them, other than maybe this one, which is a cleansing potion. And I probably want to do that there. I need to unlock the spirit to give me bigger chests, and then I can put more stuff in them. Let's... What was in my inventory? seeds, that's right. And then we have some of this, which won't store that. I think I'm going to take that back to the other base with me. So we'll hang on to that. My personal storage is where I store things. I'm a personal nature. Things just for me. And my sister has her own right here. So she has her own area, I have mine. We have some seeds for the pigment. So that means we need to find a place to plant them. But I already have. So I need to get my watering can out and water them. Let's put those seeds in here. Let's water our plants. I like to jump up into these large plots because it allows me to reach the things in the back. And we need to water this guy. Good. I don't need to go back to the waterfall to fill the watering can. So I'm just going to stick that back in there. And then it looks like we need to hit the food storage. And store like items. And this is a meal that we got from an urn. So I'm going to store that meal in here. Top off what's already in my hot bar. And I'm taking that back to the base that I came from. Here's some other meals we can put in here too. All right. So I'm going to pause the game for the moment, take a personal break. When we come back, we'll travel to the reef and we'll look at how to defeat an Abysmal Spire and release the corruption to expand the spirit world and make it a happier place. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back. Took a small mini break, handle some personal things, let the dogs out. Now we're gonna prepare for the Abysmal Spire. So first thing we need to do is make sure we have the right foods and tonics. So if we go over to the cooking station, we have a lot to choose from here. But we're going to be underwater for a period of time while we're fighting. And then we also need good health as well as stamina because we're going to get attacked while we're underwater. So there's quite a bit of foods to choose from, but the one that I like that gives you 100% health, 30% stamina, as well as extra oxygen is this one, the dubious chowder. There's others. This one gives you 75 health, 30 stamina, and 25 oxygen. But as long as we're able to dive to the surface and refill our oxygen bar, we should be okay. So this one here gives me 100% health. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this one. And it's requiring the following materials. So since the meal is going to last longer than the fish sticks and the fish chunks, the roasted fish like I already have in my inventory, we're just going to grab as many as we can. We need deepling morsel, which means we need to kill underwater fish and so on. So For right now, though, we're just gonna make 3 of them, and that should be plenty, honestly. And if worse comes to worse, we can always substitute one of these other meals, but I don't think we're going to even need 3 of them while we're underwater completing a spire. 1 should be sufficient. The other thing we're going to need to make is, we'll come back for that because they're still making down here. So we'll come back here and grab those when they're done. The other thing we're going to need is corruption resistance and corruption tonic. I already have them made, so we're going to take the resistance solve and the cleansing solve. Now, why these versus these? If we highlight this resistance tonic, we're getting 1 + 1 for 5 minutes. Same thing with the corruption buildup, we're getting -30. So that means when we use this tonic to cleanse our corruption, we're only going to be taking 30 away from our corruption that we acquire in the spire. And so this one, here, let me put these next to each other so I can show the comparison. So this one is going to give us resistance for 5 minutes. This one's giving us resistance for 8. That's 3 additional minutes. And that's going to be helpful because we're going to be underwater for a bit inside the corrupted dome. And we're going to have to replenish this after a while. I'm hoping I can get this done in under 8 minutes so I don't have to worry about this. But we'll see what happens. As far as the tonic, cleansing the corruption once we're done, this is going to take away 30. This one's going to take away 50, which is 20 more. So that's why I like these better than I like these. Now for the embrace, there's only 1 Abysmal Spire, and it's relatively easy to complete. These here should be fine for that 1 spire in the embrace. But when you get to the Reef and you get to Greatwood, you have more spires to battle. And then you also have more underwater tasks to defeat them, more enemies. So that's where the longer durations and the better cleansing is going to be necessary. I'm going to put them in my upper toolbar so I have easy access to them when I need them under the spire, rather than having to pause, open my inventory, put it in there, select it, and so on. I'm not going to need certain things while I'm underwater. So I'm going to want my spear underwater, but the rest of this stuff I'm not going to need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cleansing tonic up here and bring my shield down and the salve healing up there. In case underneath my corruption bar fills up too quickly, I can tab over quickly or use 5 on my keyboard and cleanse my corruption. That will allow me to stay within the spire longer and not have to leave the spire to heal and go back in. You'll understand when we get there. As far as the resistance solve, if I am within the corrupted dome for longer than 8 minutes, if I get to around the 6-7 mark, I can go ahead and click this again, and this will allow me to stay within that corrupted zone longer. As far as the meals go, we already talked about that. I'm probably going to move these over on my bar, but we talked about that, and so we're going to go back and pick up the meals that we were making and replace those. So, oh, I'm going in the wrong direction. Oh, wait. Let's go back here. Are we done? We sure are. We made 3. Nice. So let's go into our inventory. And I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to want something else, I think. Oh, look, we already had more. So let's change that. I'm going to want something else. Some stamina, some health, some additional oxygen. I already have some of these made. Looks like this here might be my best option. The yam root hash. So I'm going to throw that up there. as well. But before we do that, I'm going to put these back. I don't want to use the bougie meals when I'm not needing them. So what I'm going to do is eat. Oh, it won't let me eat. I'm going to wait before we go over there to the spire and wait for my sleep to... Actually, you know what? We can actually do that when we get to the other tent base. But before we do that, let's look and see if we have to water our plants first. It looks like we do. And there's our starfall blossom in case we need additional pigment for later. Let's see here. We got one still growing. So we don't need to water that. But let's water our tree over here. Let's go ahead and put our watering can up there. Tab over. We can water our tree. I like the idea that we can grow our own supplies without having to go into the field to get them. It's kind of nice to be able to do that when you're trying to build and you need supplies. All right, we're gonna go back here. We have our meals. And I'm going to temporarily put my shield and torch in the chest here at the end of my bed so that it's not taking up weight in my inventory. Put those over there for now. And I don't think I need these items for what I'm doing. I think I'm good with my setup. Okay, so we got our meals, we're slept. All we need to do is travel to the reef, which we're going to do through the portal. And let's fast travel. Zoom out. Here's the reef. We're going to fast travel to that portal. We don't have a big base here in the reef. We are just a tent base, just a place to land to get to the biome. We do have a boat here, but we have a spire real close to home here. It's right over there. And we do have one in that direction too, but that's a little bit further to travel. So what we're going to do is we're not going to take the boat, but we're going to use the skimboard and find an island that is nearby and then get ourselves set up to go under the water and fight. So let's go ahead and get close to an Abysmal Spire zone and find an island nearby. Oh, there is one right here. Yeah, right over here. Let's go do this one. We can speed up the skimboard by adjusting it at the spirit anchor. I'm not going to actually do that right now. I don't think I need to worry about adjusting my settings and attunements for one of these. I mean, I might, who knows? When we get over there, we might find out I can't hack it and I die all the time. So I might have to come back and make some attunement adjustments. But I don't think the way I have it right now, I have to worry about it. Okay, so it looks like this little island over here is outside of the Abysmal Spire. When I do these, I like to get close to the center as far as picking an island outside the realm looking at where that spire is sticking out of, I think we're pretty close to the center if we start from this point here. So yeah, that's real close. If you're looking to the right, you can see that spire sticking out. We're real close to the center. So I think this is a good island to park at and call a safe space. Oh, and look, there's a hand. I think I've already touched this one. But we'll go look anyway, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I didn't get anything for that. I already looked at that one. So if you look at the ring of fire under this purple dome, you can't tell it's a purple dome looking into it, but by looking over there, you can see it's just like a round dome, almost like a rainbow. But everything inside of that circle is corrupted. It looks dark and creepy and ominous because it is. The whole zone there is corrupted. Once we go in here and defeat this spire, this purple dome will lift and everything in here will become just like everything out there. And it won't come back. At least I don't think the plan is to have these spires repopulate, although I don't know, it would be kind of neat if the game did do that. But for now, it doesn't. So this is all clean territory, but under this dome of corruption, it's not. So our plan is to skimboard in there, dive underwater, and start defeating these yellow, looks like pus pockets, by stabbing them with a spear and releasing. There's going to be several under there. Each zone or biome that you uncover populates more spires underneath that need to be tackled. So I think in the embrace there's 3. I'm not sure how many are in here. It's been a while since I've done this. But what we're going to do is go in and I'm going to remove these out of my inventory. This is cleansing salve and this is corruption resistance. So I want to eat this or have this. Actually, I'm going to move this over here. Yeah. And I'm going to put one of these meals up here. Remember, I like this one because I get the 20 max oxygen, or I only get 15. I do get more stamina with this one and 100% health, but I get 100% health and some extra stamina with this one too. So this is the one I'm actually going to choose. And I'm also going to choose this right before I get on my skimboard and approach that dome. I'm going to eat this, activate this. I get 8 minutes of corruption resistance. That means my corruption is going to build slower. And you'll notice corruption because there'll be another bar that populates here. That's going to be solid purple. And if you look down above my toolbar as I'm trying to fight these spires and the monsters under the water, that purple is going to grow. But it's going to grow slower because I've activated this. When I get to 50% corruption, I'm going to use this to cleanse some of that and bump that corruption bar back a little bit. And then I'll dive back underwater and continue fighting. So it's like a rinse and repeat method. You come up for air, replenish your oxygen level. If you got heavy corruption, cleanse it. If you're close to this time or running out, eat one of these. If your meal's running out, eat one of those. You know, dive back down, rinse and repeat kind of thing. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and move. I like to keep my inventory organized. It helps me to see what I'm dealing with. So let's just go ahead and eat one of those. And I'm going to eat 2 of them. So it fills up both my meal gauges. And I'm also going to engage in the resistance. So now I want to get in here. I want to get to the center. and then dive down. So there's my purple corruption bar. You can see it black. It's starting to slowly build. I'm getting close to the spire. There's mines in here, so I gotta remember not to be zipping around those as well. There's some mines. I'm gonna split them. And I think I'm just gonna move over here. Yeah, so we gotta be careful. So you can see those little pus pockets, as you might want to call them. We're gonna dive down. Here's some monsters we gotta fight. I'm not gonna worry about collecting their goodies, but I need to stab these so that they float off their base and float to the top. And spear that a few times. Nope, that didn't work. Do it again. It looks like I'm doing good on oxygen. I'm getting attacked by a monster. Kill that. I like to go furthest down to the bottom and start because there are ones closer to the top, but I also need to come up for oxygen. So if I dive down to the bottom, I can get the ones taken way down deep taken care of. I missed one earlier. Now these waves that you see here around me, you don't want to get down into those. I'm gonna go around real quick. So there's another one I've got to get to. So I think I've got everything from this one. I'm gonna go back up, get some air, dive back down, and I'm getting attacked. Let's go get this little guy. So my corruption bar is building, trying to stay away from those waves because that's like mega corruption. And let's kill this. Oh, crap. Yep, getting attacked. Kill him, get back up there. I'm not going to worry about what the enemies are dropping right now. I'm more worried about my oxygen level, killing the things on the spires, and my corruption. There we go. All right, that one's done. Let's get back up here, get some oxygen. And I think I'm going to release some healing salve. Get back down there. And now I need to find a few more. If you look at the red bar up at the top where it says Abysmal Spire, it's showing how much I've accomplished. So that means there's more of these to uncover below. I should be seeing them glow if I'm nearby. I'm not. I'm swimming underwater just so I can see if I can find one that needs to be fought. I'm not seeing any. So let's get up and get some oxygen. Take another dive. I might have to run around on my skimboard and look down below. I'm still not seeing them. I don't know where they are. It's making me nervous. They can be far away from the center too. They could be real small, they could be large. There's one that I've already defeated. Now, as far as what the enemies left behind, if they're still there, when I've completely defeated this, I'll go back down and collect them. So let's skim around and look below, see if we see anything glowing below the waters. I'm not seeing anything. They can really be anywhere. We're just looking down, see if we see anything glowing. Oh, there's one. All right, so let's get off and dive down. All right. And we need to get this one at the top. All right, I think I saw more down here, didn't I? Maybe not. Maybe those were just the mines that I saw. Let's get some oxygen. Okay, so over here maybe. Let's dive down. See if we see any. There was a spire there. There it is. So let's get some oxygen and dive back down. And I'm gonna hit my resistance tonic again. Eat another meal, cleanse. I'm too full for food, so. And let's go ahead and stab these. Right, that one's loose. And it looks like maybe this is the last one. Nice. It worked. I have new points. Nice. And as you can see, it says Abysmal Spire has been vanquished. My corruption's gone. And let's just get above water. Look, everything's clear. We now will have a new zone to explore. There might be spirits in here to rescue. You can build a base in here. There's enemies to fight and things to discover, but I don't have to worry about my safe island anymore. This is all brand new and opened up for me to explore. So that's completing Abysmal Spire. We need to read one of these. I don't think I've read this one. And there's enemies, so let's see if I... Okay, good. I got more knowledge points, and I'm getting attacked, of course. This is my second video on Voyages of Nera. Thank you for watching. Also, want to give credit to Infected Game Hosting, who's hosting the dedicated server that I'm using. I'm Anna. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Bye now.